Welcome to another episode of Casual Citizen, an ongoing series about the upcoming first-person MMO Star Citizen by Cloud Imperium Games. I'm your host, Alysianah from the Mystic Worlds Gaming blog. In this week's episode, we're going to discuss what's been communicated so far about the mining career. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Begin transmission. I wanted to chat about mining as I suspect it's going to be a very popular career choice in Star Citizen. Mining was one of the first career design documents published. It supposedly is representative of their philosophy for all careers. Career-associated tasks will require skill, dexterity, and intelligence. They will not include mindless repetition or idle monitoring. Mining isn't going to be a risk-free endeavor. The resources you need might be located in high-threat systems or one where active piracy exists. Your crew can be injured or your ship damaged while mining. Compressed pockets of gas and other volatile materials can explode. Some can even detonate from seismic activity. In other words, mining in Star Citizen isn't an autopilot profession. Careless players risk injury or death. Setting up shop as a miner. The Trade and Development Division is the marketplace for commodities within the Star Citizen universe. There you can find a sense of what's in demand, at what price, and where. Once you've determined what you want to mine, you'll need to decide if you want to do it freelance or contract. As a freelance operator, you are your own master. You set your mining schedule and your pace, and you're free to capitalize on timely fluctuations in market demand. For example, a ship manufacturer receives an urgent order that requires a large sum of materials, and they're willing to pay top dollar to have it now. If you have those materials on hand, you can take advantage of that opportunity. But just remember that economies can be fluid, and what goes up can go down. You could return from an otherwise successful mining excursion to find that the market buyout prices have dropped. The cost of your supplies and labor didn't drop, so now what? Do you sell for less? You have crew to pay and fuel to replace. You could try traveling to another system, but you might encounter combat scenarios where you could lose the cargo or your ship. This is an example of a decision you may face as a freelance miner. Supply versus demand will impact payouts even in NPC-run economies. Players routinely encountered this scenario in ArcAge. Players who had the forethought and were lucky enough to find space often maintained farms where they could store transported goods in the regions where they did a lot of business. That gave them the advantage of delivering to the NPCs only when prices were at their peak. Unlucky or unprepared players had no choice other than to take the price that was being offered. If that sounds a little too risky and unsettling for you, you may prefer a set payout. Working on contract might be a better option for you. However, that's not completely risk-free either. Various NPC-managed businesses will have contract work available. You'll be paid a set amount to provide specific quantities of an item by a certain date. What happens with market fluctuation in the interim is not your problem. Sounds good, but let's dig into that a little deeper. What happens if your ship is damaged, you have mechanical issues, or unreliable crew? An infinite number of things could happen that negatively impact your operation. Suddenly you can't fulfill the contract you signed. Oops! Hopefully, you can get paid for whatever you're able to deliver, but now you have an unhappy customer and your reputation as a reliable contractor will suffer. Net is you can choose to do business however you want in Star Citizen, even as a miner. Operating freelance absolves you from schedules and yield requirements, but it means that you have to be proficient at following the market. As a contractor, the market is not your problem. And as long as you can consistently meet your contractual obligations, you'll be all set. Where's the beef? After deciding between freelance and contract, it's time to locate asteroid fields that contain the materials you need. One place to start is by reviewing the ARC star map. For systems that have been surveyed, the star map will note the presence of asteroid fields or belts and how many there are. If you want to mine with a minimum of combat interruptions, you'll be looking for controlled systems with low threat. All of this information is readily available on the ARC star map. That might not be enough information when you're looking for specific resources. To date, the only place I've found notations about special commodities are within the Galactic Guides. A system's Galactic Guide will mention if rare or uncommon materials can be found there. So to me, that's sounding like you need information from the star map and the Galactic Guide. I might be able to help you out with that. Some time ago, I started compiling a matrix that combines information from the star map and the Galactic Guides. Right now, it's a shareable Google spreadsheet. I'll provide a link in the show notes. My intention is for the matrix to provide the big picture overview, high-level data that's needed to plan career-related excursions. My star map matrix, that's what I call it, links the configuration of the various systems, celestial bodies, the jump points and sizes, space stations, number of asteroid belts, etc., with the other information from the Galactic Guide. So for example, where can you mine precious metals? Where are the big shipping hubs for smaller cargo haulers? Where is there thriving black market? High volume import and export opportunities, things like that. Eventually, I'll have it turned into a website that's searchable and can be updated by the community. Getting the job done. Mining consists of multiple roles and is done using a ship configured for mining, such as the Orion. Higher proficiency in performing roles means better efficiency and higher profits. What I'm about to discuss is for full-scale mining operations on a ship like the Orion. Doing so requires multiple crew stations be manned. This doesn't mean that mining won't be possible on a smaller scale using a smaller ship, it's just that we don't have that information yet. One of the roles in the mining operation is, of course, the pilot. They are responsible for safely navigating the ship to and within targeted asteroid fields. This might not be as simple as it sounds. Rarer materials will be located in dense fields. When that's the case, it requires nimble navigation to avoid costly ship damage. Sound simple? Well, think of the number of players you've seen who can't land without damaging their ship. The next role is the ERDA scan operator. This person is responsible for identifying an asteroid's composition so that you know that that big rock right there contains what you're looking to mine. They do this by injecting remote material analysis packages, RMAP for short, into nearby asteroids. The telemetry data is sent to the pilot and the scan operator. Once a site is selected, the optimal injection orientation is displayed. The scan operator launches and manually controls RMAP-equipped missiles. The missiles are used to hit the asteroid at the right location, exposing the materials that you want to mine. Here's one of those efficiency is important scenarios. The more accurate the RMP activity, the less digging around in an asteroid you'll need to do to reach the materials that you actually want to mine. Then there's the beam operator. This station is responsible for wielding the mining beam affixed to the ship's robotic arms. The beam operator directs a laser to dig out the materials, and their skills impact the proficiency at which you can extract materials. It's also critical to safety. An injection of surplus energy into volatile materials can cause explosive chain reactions, and I think you can imagine what that can lead to if it happens. The cargo operator is the sifting and pickup role. Mined materials do not magically get placed into your ship. The cargo operator monitors the fragments being excavated by the mining beam and interrogates them using an integrated fragment scanner. Fragments of interest are directed into the ship's input port. The input port pulverizes the fragments into rubble and stores the contents into cargo modules. The skill of this person also impacts the value of your payload. They can miss important fragments or be so slow that they impact your efficiency, putting you behind schedule for contract deliveries. Last, and the optional leg of the operation, is refining. If your ship is equipped with one, the refining operator will process raw ore into purified forms. Waste is ejected out into space. Purified materials consume considerably less storage space, and this allows your operation to continue for longer periods of time before it becomes necessary to dock, unload, and head back out again. As you can see, mining will require more than just locating big rocks. There's logistical planning and skill necessary to run an efficient operation. While I don't think mining is up my alley, I still find all of the Star Citizen careers fascinating, and I hope that you found this information informative. Show notes. Short list of notes this week. I'll link to the mining design document on robertspaceindustries.com as well as the Orion. I'll also give you a link to my star map matrix. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving this episode a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated, and doing so helps the show's visibility, making it easier for others to find their way here. As ever, be kind, fly safe. This is Alysianah signing off until next time. End transmission.